Muy buenas a todos, señores, señoritas, animales y lo que haya por allá, que estamos en otro vídeo de Genshin Impact. Pero bueno, antes de continuar con la historia, han puesto otra misión temporal, pero bueno, yo ya miraré cómo es. Y según cómo sea, pues ya la haremos. El tema es que, bueno, vamos a seguir haciendo el tema esto de los fantasmitas, que quedan pocos ya, pero bueno. Hay uno que se me olvidó hacer y que creo que ya puedo superar la misión. Voy a quitar de momento esto. La misión de ese fantasma consiste en encender de la isla todas estas rocas, ¿de acuerdo? Tengo un mapa que ya os mostraré en el vídeo de ese fantasma, para que sepáis pues dónde están ubicadas todas esas rocas del trueno, se llaman. Y así pues no hay problema. Ni problema ni misterio, ni hostias. Perfecto. Vale, entonces vamos a ir a por el... Aquí ahí tengo marcado algo que creo que... Joder, tío, ¿qué? ¿Qué? O sea, aparece un sonido y no hay nadie. Que es un juego de terror ahora. A ver. Esto lo puedo hacer. Vale, apareció una antorcha allí. Bueno, aquí también, pero cuidado. Bien. Venga, vamos, Zongli. Bien, joder, bien. Pues estuve revisando ayer cuántas tiradas tenía y tengo ya 60 tiradas. O sea, estoy cerca de poder tener de forma segura otro personaje de 5 estrellas. A no ser, cosa que dudo, que tengamos suerte y aparezca antes de las 90 tiradas, mucho antes. Cosa que dudo, os repito. ¿Que puede ocurrir? Sí. ¿Que va a ocurrir? Lo dudo. Y pues eso. Vale, a ver, falta uno, A ver dónde coño está. Falta uno que está por esta dirección. ¿Y dónde coño está? A ver. Tío, o estoy ciego. Muy lejos no creo que esté, la verdad. La antorchita. Esto lo ideal es mirar desde arriba. Pillar altura. Y yo qué sé. Porque esto, a ver, juego, no sé. ¿Aquel se ha apagado o no lo he encendido? Ah, no, es que he encendido aquel. Este no, coño, vale. Que claro, yo pensaba que como faltaba por apagar, o sea, por encender uno, que era este de aquí, digo, a lo mejor está por allí. Pues no. Pues ya está, oye. A ver, un logro, un momento. Tenemos que venir aquí. No, perdón, aquí. Y llegaremos antes desde este punto. Hablaremos con Chise y ya veréis. A ver, primero, el logro este, ¿qué es? Completa todos los desafíos de las estatuas. ¡Hostia! Eso significa que... bien, ¿no? Joder. Vale, voy a hacer el ritual por si acaso, ¿de acuerdo? Bueno, por si acaso no, el ritual lo tengo que hacer. Bueno, aquí tenemos un fantasma llamado Chise. Vamos a ver qué es lo que nos pide. ¿Acaso el ave del trueno me abandonó? ¿Hola? Oh, poderosa ave del trueno, por favor no se enfade. Haré todo lo posible por leer sus decretos e instrucciones, pero... ¿por qué me rechaza? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué no puedo entrar en la niebla que ha creado? Espera, ¿no se dispersó la niebla ya? Las rocas de la tormenta que dejó atrás. Ya pensar en algo, pero la barca de plata está llegando. Me queda poco tiempo. ¿Qué son esas rocas de la tormenta de las que hablas? Las rocas de la tormenta de la llanura Otake. Solo los que dominan el rayo pueden reanimarlas, y solo los que pueden atravesar la niebla pueden encontrarlas. Mantenerse erguido como el ave del trueno. Desplegar las alas como el ave del trueno. De acuerdo, pues el objetivo ahora es encender todas esas rocas del trueno. Os voy a mostrar un mapa de todas las ubicaciones, ¿de acuerdo? Hay 3 que están ocultas, que necesitamos la pluma extraña y utilizarla en las estatuas como esa que tenemos ahí detrás. Entonces aparecerá una más, son 3 ocultas, ¿de acuerdo? Que también os mostraré el mapa de la ubicación. Y bueno, pues yo creo que ya las habréis visto. En este vídeo no, en el vídeo de la misión sí. Vale. Hablaremos de nuevo con Chise tras encenderlas todas. Me queda poco tiempo. Se supone que ya las he encendido todas. Yo estuve revisando y no sé. Bueno, de momento hemos hablado una vez con él, pero yo diría que están todas encendidas. Y lo digo muy en serio, tío. Estuve revisando una por una, tío. Siguiendo el mapa interactivo. A lo mejor hay que volver otro día, pero... un poco raro esto, ¿eh? No me gusta. Que no me diga otra cosa, no sé si es buena o mala señal, Y si no, pues vendré otro día, pero... yo juraría que ya las he encendido todas. Vale, voy a volver a hablar con una. Que había que hacer esto 5 días. A ver. Una. Es el segundo día, que venimos. A ver. Ahora lo vuelvo a comentar. A ver, día 2. Ay, cada vez son menos claros. Mis recuerdos son menos claros. ¿Hola? Ay, mi memoria va de mal en peor. Supongo que es la edad. Esto no está bien. Me pregunto si Quito y Kina estarán pasando hambre. No es seguro, allá afuera estarán bien. Quito, Kina, ¿cuándo volvieron? ¿No se toparon con algo en el camino? ¿No volvieron a treparse a los árboles, o sí? Solo hacen que esta pobre anciana se preocupe. Ay, ¿qué le pasa a esta isla últimamente? Cada vez menos personas. Y los nombres que recuerdo también son cada vez menos. Ay, ¿qué hará esta pobre anciana si se olvida de ustedes dos? Ay, tomen estos pétalos. Si llego a olvidarme de ustedes, solo muéstrenmelos. Todavía tengo tantas historias que contarles. Bueno, pues pétalos de cerezo por 3. Otra vez. Bueno, esto era del día 2, ¿de acuerdo? En principio, ya digo, lo ideal es hacer esto antes que lo de Quito y Kina. Así que eso no lo vamos a hacer aún. Y este creo que era pasar 48 horas. Y han pasado 24, creo que mañana ya. Entonces podemos volver a visitar al ave. Y Botman es el último de todos. Así que yo, claro, lo del chise me ha rayado un poco. Que por cierto, no sé por qué lo he quitado. Lo he quitado, tío. Bueno, vamos a dejarlo ahí hasta que se pueda rematar. Pero de momento ahí se queda. Vale, esta es la misión temporal que ya revisaré yo. Y ahora vamos a continuar la de Arconte, ¿de acuerdo? Así que vamos para allí. ¿Dónde coño está, tío? ¿Por qué coño sube tanto? A ver, ¿me estás vacilando? ¿Quieres pelea? Tú avisa y si la quieres yo te la doy. Vale, pues vamos a ver qué ocurre ahora en la misión de Arconte. Hasta dónde vamos y qué ocurrirá. Ay, 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 ay. Esta misión de Arconte, esto no es spoiler ni nada, pero es la última de Inazuma. Eso quiere decir que en esta misión nos vamos a encontrar cositas calentitas. Pero muy calentitas. A ver. Ay, señor. A ver, ¿qué ocurre? Dirígete al lugar del entrenamiento. ¡Hostias! Esto era pesado, ¿eh? Me acuerdo, sí, sí. Vamos a ver. El entrenamiento que hace la Shogun.
Think of it as a catalyst that can reproduce the Raiden Shogun's combat moves. I made it from my own memory, which means it should be perfectly accurate. Unless, of course, her skills have declined. It'll give you a chance to figure out her moves in advance and come up with a counter strategy. That should be a big help, don't you think? The aim is to try to not get hit by the attacks. Since you've escaped certain death at her hand once already, I presume this shouldn't be more than you can handle.
Bueno, no sé. Tengo miedo. Completa el entrenamiento anti-Shogun Raiden. ¿Qué hay que hacer? ¡Ah! Golpes recibidos. Vale, ya sé cómo era. Había que esquivar esto. Había que esquivarlo. O sea, cuando sale el halo en el suelo, luego hay que moverse. Hostia, me acuerdo también de este. Nada, es cuestión de recordar. 4 de 10. Vale. 5 de 10. No, no inventes tampoco, cerdo. Hay que recordar el otro movimiento, ¿cómo es? Que te lanza algo. ¿Veis? ¡Qué hijo de...! Vale. El halo. ¡Pum! ¿No? Oye, he conseguido el golpe rematador. Desafío fallido. Te puedes ir a la mierda, tío. A lo mejor no tenía que golpearle, ¿eh? ¿Qué ha pasado ahí, tío? Vale, creo que tengo que ponerme el escudo, a lo mejor, de Zhongli. Lo voy a intentar, ¿eh? Bueno, 1 de 10 es lo que hay. Pero bueno, ya hemos más o menos visto en qué consiste esto. Cuidado que ahora lanzará esas cosas veloces, creo. Joder, 1 de 10, no me ha contabilizado ese golpe. Mejor, mejor. Vivan los bugs. Gracias a ellos, mucha gente ha tenido menos dolor de cabeza. ¿Qué ocurre? 5 de 10 me pone de golpe, tío. ¿Habéis visto esa mentira? Venga, hombre, por Dios, qué falso, tío. Bueno, a ver, entonces para esquivar el último golpe. Bueno, ya está, ¿no, cerdo? Vete a tomar por culo. Como ahora no lo consiga, cuando antes lo he conseguido y el juego se ha inventado el golpe. Vale, cuidado, me voy a poner el escudo. Creo que hay que alejarse de las mierdas estas. Tío, me estoy empezando a hartar de esta mierda, O sea, yo me he puesto el escudo. Voy a tener que utilizar La letra Q. Me estás jodiendo la vida, tío. ¿Dónde me pongo yo ahí, tío? Tío, no tengo ganas de estar 5 horas aquí, juego. Solo te digo eso. De verdad, 1 de 10. Ya está inventándose los golpes. Cerdo. Tío, de verdad. Cago, me subiré a una plataforma, a ver. Vete a la mierda, coño. Casi me das, cerdo. Casi me das, cerdo. Casi me das, cerdo. Que te recuerdo, cada vez más. Claro, esto lo hice yo en la otra cuenta hace tiempo. Y ahora ya me voy acordando más. Venga, dame. Casi me das. Casi me das. Casi. Creo que sí, voy a intentar hacer esto, Si me subo aquí, quizá no me dañen. Tío, me cago en todo, siempre me están dañando. Oye, Kokomi no pone un escudo de agua a veces. Es que a veces sale y a veces no. No sé por qué sí y por qué no. Y lo de Zhongli, no se supone que sale un escudo. ¿Cuándo sale ese escudo, tío? Tío, ¿cómo coño hacía esto? No me acuerdo, nene. A lo mejor tengo que... No me acuerdo, tío. No, en serio, es que estoy pendiente. No estoy ni concentrado ya. Me estoy cansando de esta mierda de desafío, tío. Lo complicado de este desafío es el no entender. El no entender es una mierda. O sea, subiendo ahí arriba tampoco, vale. Entonces, ¿cómo coño lo hago, tío? Joder, deja de darme, cabronazo. Estoy cabreando ya, Algo hay que hacer, pero... Voy a intentar... quitar uno. A ver si puedo dañar a uno. Estoy concentrado, me da igual que me golpee. O sea, estoy pensando en la parte final, tío. Vale, voy a intentar acabar con uno. Vale, lo he conseguido, He conseguido, vale. Había que quitar uno y facilitar eso, vale. Es que antes lo he hecho y me ha dañado igual, entonces no lo he vuelto a hacer, pero bueno. ¿Eso es todo lo que tienes?
So how come you know so much about the Raiden Shogun? You mean me? Perhaps it's because I'm the Electro Archon's familiar. What? Like Dvalin is to Barbados? Huh. Never would have guessed by looking at you. It sounds like you'd be more persuaded if you saw me in my fox form.
Me encantaría verlo.
In your dreams.
Oh. Uy, ha cambiado la imagen ahí, tío.
More curious than my appearance is the fact that she and I don't see each other anymore, wouldn't you say? A nation to last for all eternity is a dream that she and I both share. But I don't think that's the same thing as complete stasis. At some point, she started going down a path that became increasingly difficult for me to join her on. You know, A never said goodbye to me before she stepped into the plane of Euthymia. Perhaps it's just my wishful thinking, but I think she did this deliberately, as her way of keeping our friendship eternal. By neither saying goodbye nor seeing me again, our relationship will remain forever how it was. In her mind, at least.
Quizá la Shogun Raiden es la que vive en una ilusión.
Since we've embarked on two very different paths to eternity, I can either continue to maintain the status quo or do whatever it takes to bring her back on track, regardless of the cost. I have chosen the latter because if stubbornly isolating herself in the plane of Euthymia is her idea of eternity, then my duty as her eternal familiar is to drag her back out of her own head and into the real world.
Aw, Miko, you sound like a really great friend.
I'm only telling you this so you can properly understand my plan. Could you possibly spare the sentimentality for the time being? Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. Time for Anti-Raiden Shogun Training Phase 2.
There's a part 2?
Madre mía. Esta costaba más. Me suena... O creo que menos, No me acuerdo. ¿Qué hay que hacer aquí?
Hold the line.
O sea, yo los mato, pero... Ah, vale, enemigos derrotados. 6 de 10. Vale, primero estos. Nivel 32, vale, fácil. Sí, este era fácil, me acuerdo yo. A ver, Yaemiko.
We're finally done.
Muy bien, joder, tos.
You did quite admirably. I could see your determination and your hard work.
So, do you think we're ready to beat the Raiden Shogun now?
How do I put this? You're no match for her at all.
Wait, what? So all of this was a complete waste of time?
You are the most important part of the plan. I know what I'm doing. You don't think I'd leave you with no chance to win at all, do you? Speaking of, Traveler, what do you think of the Resistance Army's chances?
No es rival para ella.
You're absolutely right. Perhaps they occasionally best the Shogun's army in open battle. But when they face the Raiden Shogun herself, considering even their visions have been taken from them and embedded in the statue, they're ultimately quite helpless.
You don't have to be so blunt. The Traveler's the captain of Swordfish too, you know.
I don't mean to belittle them. On the contrary, it is precisely because of their helplessness, because their visions have been taken from them, that their will is all the more precious. In short, if everything goes according to plan, they may yet prove to be helpful.
Entonces, ¿cuál es el plan?
Oh, goodness. Is that the time? I have another guest to receive today. We can talk more back at the Grand Narukami Shrine.
All of a sudden, you're entertaining guests? Paimon's really struggling to understand how you work.
Bueno, Paimon, relájate, compañera, fiel servidora. Vale, vuelve al gran santuario Narukami y habla con Yaemiko. Obviamente, eso lo tenemos ahí arriba. Voy a mirar un momento, porque esto ya no se puede. Ah, vale, entonces nada. Juraría que se podía seguir haciendo. No sé si pensaba que había un logro o algo, no sé. Bueno, pues nada, volvamos. A ver, que no se enrolle mucho, por favor. Este lugar es preciosísimo. Es que Inazuma, tío, es una maldita locura. Qué colorido.
Okay, we can talk here. You asked me about the plan. In fact, I've been mulling it over for quite a long time. Before one makes a plan, what is the most important thing one must do?
Don't know. What is it?
You must understand the situation you are facing. The Vision Hunt Decree was obviously devised as a means of manipulating the Shogun. The ones behind it knowing full well her susceptibility as a puppet, with a single-minded focus on eternity.
Es cara, mucho lo confirmo.
Yes. This is the strongest piece of evidence we have to go on. Now, we also know that every aspect of the Vision Hunt Decree's promulgation and execution has been enthusiastically spearheaded by the Tenryou Commission from the outset.
Ayaka was saying that every time they submitted a petition against the Vision Hunt Decree, the Tenryou and Kanjo commissions would veto it straight away with no negotiation.
La comisión Kanju traicionó al shogunato hace mucho tiempo.
Yes, it's all too clear that both the Tenryou and Kanjo commissions are in some form of collusion with the Fatui. Foolish humans, blinded by their greed. Thus, the current situation is that our Fatui antagonist is still at large, has the two rogue commissions wrapped around their finger, and is distributing delusions from the shadows. Unfortunately, given that said antagonist is under the protection of two commissions and the Raiden Shogun, we would be rather hard-pressed to track them down.
So, what should we do?
It will be easier for us to start with someone from Inazuma. So my plan is to incite rebellion in the Tenryou Commission.
Rebellion? What are you talking about? After everything you just said, it sounds like the Tenryou Commission has rebelled already.
When I say rebellion, I don't mean betraying the shogunate. I mean inciting a certain someone to betray the Tenryou Commission. If we manage to convince her, I'm quite sure we'll be able to get you another audience with the Raiden Shogun.
¿Quién es esa persona?
I'll give you a clue. She's currently in charge of the Shogun's army. She visits the shrine at this time every month, and she is our guest today. She also appears to be standing right behind you.
Estaba claro.
Don't move a muscle. You've got some nerve showing up here in the shrine when there's an active warrant for your arrest. Don't even think about trying anything. Surrender now. You're coming with me to headquarters. Seize him!
Affirmative.
Kujusara!
Uy, cuidado, que vienen, que vienen. Espera. Uy, uy, uy.
It seems that you're forgetting. This is the Grand Narukami Shrine. Use of force here is strictly forbidden. Before you proceed, which of you would like to face criminal charges for dishonoring the Shogun?
Guji-ai, please tell me you are not sheltering a wanted criminal here.
We are just friends. I don't see what sheltering has to do with it. Tell your subordinates to leave. We have things to discuss.
All of you outside.
As you wish.
Venga, a sus órdenes.
Guji-ai, I'm a little curious. Does it not also dishonor the Shogun to hide a wanted criminal at her grand shrine?
You're the same as ever, Kujo-Sara. No one can match you when it comes to loyalty to the Shogun.
As a servant, loyalty to the Shogun is my duty. And as a warrior, I dedicate my life to following the way of the
Even though she will one day see...
The Vision Hunt Decree is the Shogun's chosen course, and I shall not question it.
Oh, it's tragic. Such wholehearted devotion rendered meaningless by circumstance. Have you been kept in the dark? Or are you the only one left in the light?
Lady Guji, I need you to be direct. Tell me exactly what you mean.
The Vision Hunt Decree is a trap. Part of a Fatui plot to bring Inazuma to its knees. And your masters, the Kujo clan of the Tenryou Commission, they're the ones keeping the truth from reaching the Shogun.
You're saying the Kujo clan betrayed the shogunate?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Guji-ai, your allegation is not only dangerous, but ridiculous. The Tri-Commission has served the Shogun since ancient times, and remains absolutely loyal to this day. Ever since I was adopted by the Kujo clan, I have seen and heard nothing but pure devotion toward the Shogun. At every level of the Tenryou Commission, especially from the head of the clan, Kujo Takayuki. He reveres the Muso no Hitotachi more than anyone. My own respect for the Shogun pales in comparison to his. How could he ever even dream of acting against the Shogun?
3 days. Come back here in 3 days and I will show you the evidence. As a Guji, there's one thing I know very well. People believe whatever they want to believe. Some things you do not see, simply because you do not wish to look. And so, it falls to me to place the truth before your eyes, in all its ugliness.
3 days? I'll be here. But if I don't see any evidence, I will demand a formal apology for slandering the Kujo clan. Also, he will have to come with me.
Wonderful. Then I'll see you in 3 days. I look forward to it very much.
That was so scary! Hana wasn't expecting to run into Kujo-Sara here. But, Miko, you mentioned evidence of the Tenryou Commission's betrayal. Is that all in hand and good to go, or...?
Why are you always asking so many questions? Of course not. I just had to say something because I clearly wasn't convincing her.
Not entirely unexpected.
As plans go, changing the deity's mind is a huge gamble to begin with. We can't expect to be in control of every last detail when we're facing off against a god, can we?
Okay, but what are we gonna do, though? We only have 3 days.
If we want to get our evidence, we're going to need some help. Now, come with me. We must awaken the professional.
Bueno, un camino familiar. Una cosita menos, nada mal. Quantum probatorio. Ve al bosque Chinju. Interesante eso, ¿vale? Pues nada, tenemos que ir para allí. Tenemos un plazo de 3 días y hay que ir allá abajo. Vale, venga, vamos para allí. De momento vamos a seguir avanzando. No hay más que hacer que yo sepa ahora. Bueno, alguna cosa sí que habrá, pero a lo mejor es que no la encuentro, ¿eh? A ver, busca al ayudante de la cabloya de Miko. Pues habrá que buscarla. Tiene que estar... Pues no sé, tío. ¿Estoy ciego o qué? Estoy ciego, ¿verdad? El objetivo está en el área, dice. Sí, sí. En el área del culo, porque yo aquí no la veo. Voy a subir ahí arriba. Ah, mira, si está aquí, joder. Estoy ciego, ¿eh? Acostado, acostado. Qué bonito. ¡Hostia!
What's going on? Hyman's never seen one of these before. Not a tanuki. I'm a muchina. I'm so tired. If I don't get enough sleep, it'll stunt my growth. Is this the professional you were talking about? She doesn't look very professional at all.
She is a member of the Shiumatsuban, a genuine, bona fide
Una ninja.
A ninja? So was that one of those legendary ninja transformation techniques? Anyway, what's the Shumatsuban?
It belongs to the Yashiro Commission, a secret unit under Kamisato Ayato. Now, Kamisato Ayato and the Yashiro Commission are neutral parties, so I have no right to give orders to the Shiumatsuban. However, convincing their most chronically lazy member to help us is well within my abilities. Here's what I need you to do. Go into town and find evidence of the Tenryou Commission's betrayal. It would not be appropriate for me to be seen there myself.
You make it sound so simple, but...
¿Cuáles son las pruebas?
Oh, I thought you would have figured it out by now. All right, then. I'll indulge you with a little more information. For a complete outsider, probing the inner workings of the Tenryou Commission is nigh on impossible. But since the three commissions work together to serve the shogun, they have a close relationship. Someone from one of the other commissions might have an easier job of figuring out what they're up to.
La Comisión Yashiro.
Now you're following me. The shogun's army haven't given up on their search for you yet. But with the help of this Shiumatsuban ninja, I'm sure you'll be able to rendezvous with your friends. Don't forget, we're on a tight schedule here. Be sure to bring back the evidence in good time.
Muy bien. Ve a la casa de té con More, que está justo allí. Venga, vamos para allí. A ver qué pistas encontramos. Bueno, hombre, hoy el avance de esta misión va a ser bueno porque... Coño, todavía llevamos 28 minutillos. Está por ahí. A veces se pegan tironcillos, pero la verdad no sé si preocuparme o no. Porque claro, este juego es online. Hace 4 noches se me cayó el internet y desde entonces siento que va como lento a veces. No solo el Genshin, sino a veces se bloquea alguna página, unos segundillos. Un poco raro. Bueno, entramos. A ver lo que tarda esto en cargar ahora. Venga, por Dios.
Toma, you there?
A ver, toma.
We're back.
Toma, toma. Ahí está, tomate. Qué bonito.
What brings you here? Did you meet with the resistance? How's the battle going? Is it safe for me to come out yet?
Not just yet. We saw people patrolling on our way here.
So, it's still not over. I guess you came here because you have something to discuss? I'll get someone to call for Miss Kamisato. Bear with me for 1 second.
Vale, le cuentas lo ocurrido a Yaka y a Toma.
I see. You have been through a lot since we last met. I understand. You need evidence of the Tenryou Commission's betrayal. Let me think. Now that you mention it, there is one thing that has always concerned me. The Shogun's army has been at war with the Resistance for a long time now, but not once has the Shogun ever inquired about it. I used to think that she simply didn't care, but looking at it now, perhaps the problem all along has been with the Tenryou Commission's reports to the Shogun.
What do you mean?
The Tenryou Commission presides over domestic military affairs. If they ever had any intention of concealing information in their reports, we would have no way of knowing. Meanwhile, the Shogun would incorrectly conclude that the Vision Hunt decree poses no threat and would stick to her decision. If we had access to their reports, it would confirm everything.
But as I recall, the only person authorized to access that kind of official documentation is Kujo Takayuki. It's heavily guarded too. Even with Sayu's help, swiping a document from under their noses is no easy task.
If only there was a way we could distract the guards just for long enough.
¿Dijiste distraerlos?
Yoimiya's fireworks!
That's a very Toma-sounding suggestion, but it's a reasonable one. The statue of the omnipresent god is right by the Tenryou
Pues a
Commission.
tope.
If someone set off fireworks near the statue, they certainly wouldn't ignore it. While they were preoccupied with that, Sayu could infiltrate the Tenryou Commission and take the report, as well as any other evidence she might find.
Great! It feels like I'm getting closer and closer to being a free man again.
Venga, vamos. Bien.
It feels like it's been an eternity since we last sat down and talked like this.
No ha pasado tanto tiempo.
Well, it certainly felt like it to me. I've been looking forward to seeing you again every day since I got here. This tea house used to be my favorite hiding place, but now I've honestly lost track of how long it's been since I last set foot outside of here. Oh man, I want to go to the hot springs so badly.
Poor Toma.
Let's focus on the issue at hand. The sooner the Vision Hunt Decree is abolished, the sooner Toma will be free. This was a reunion of sorts, but there's no time to catch up. We'll celebrate properly when it's all over.
Ooh, let's play the hot pot game again.
You're still thinking about that?
The Tenryou Commission is heavily guarded. Be careful when you get near. Let's meet back here afterwards.
Alright, first let's go to Hanamizaka to find Yoimiya.
Venga, vamos a ver a Yoimiya. Perfecto, consigue la ayuda de Yoimiya, que la tenemos allí. Pues vamos a ir para allí a ver si dicen algo más. Que no
Fireworks
creo.
are more visible at night. If possible,
Vale, vale, buena idea eso. Funcionará, amigo, no te preocupes. Vale. Y Sayu estaba por aquí, pero Sayu siempre desaparece. Wow. Wow. Va, este solo dice wow. Obviamente es un perro. ¿Qué va a decir? A ver, entonces hay que ir para allí, ¿eh? Pero hay que esperar. Bueno, lo de esperar a la noche no sé hasta qué punto puede ser importante. Pero bueno. Consigue la ayuda de Yoimiya. Pues vamos a teletransportarnos aquí. Y desde aquí llegaremos. Poquito a poquito. Pum, 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 pum. Ahí, joder, bien. Qué bien, ahí está Yoimiya, por Dios. ¿Cuánto tiempo? Hola.
Yoimiya, we need an extra large firework. The super duper big kind.
Extra large firework? You sure came to the right person. As it happens, I made this really souped up one just a couple days ago. But it's so powerful that I haven't found anywhere I can test it out yet. May as well give it to you. Don't forget, move well away from it after you light the fuse, and try to avoid burning your clothes. Also, it's best that you cover your ears.
Why does Paimon feel so nervous all of a sudden?
Don't worry, it's just a firework. Come on. What's the worst that could happen?
We'll give it a try. Thanks, Yoimiya.
Vale, solo espero que no culpen a Yoimiya, porque ya se sabe
Got our distraction. Now we just need to wait for nightfall.
que la única que puede hacer esto es Yoimiya. Vale, el megafuego artificial. Voy a mirar eso, os lo voy a mostrar. Y avanzaremos la hora. Bueno, ahí tenemos megafuego artificial. Ahora, hasta las 12 de la noche ponía. Pues ahí mismo. Vale, a ver qué tal, señores. Buah, esto se va a poner muy calentito. Y eso me gusta. Y mucho. Vale, ya se ha hecho de noche. Vale, ve al lugar indicado, que es allí. Vale, entonces rápidamente nos vamos para allí. Y... ¡No! Joder, qué pesadilla, tío. Panda de cerdos. Vale, yo me meto por aquí debajo. Vale, vale, vale. Bien, ya estamos. Ay, 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 ay.
Pretty much how I thought. There are loads and loads of people. If one of them spots me, I'll get caught. We need to get rid of them, or I won't be able to sneak inside.
Tendremos que confiar en yo y
After I
Mia.
get the document, let's meet back at Komari Tea House, okay? Also, if I do get caught, please come rescue me.
Sí, sí, sí.
Is this really a good idea? Anyway, let's make our way to the statue. Careful does it. Watch out for guards and don't get caught.
Sí, sí, hay que tener cuidadito. Vale, lanza los fuegos artificiales. El tema está aquí arriba, supongo. Voy a intentar... Aquel... Uf. Vale.
Firework is this? By the look of it, Paimon's ears are gonna get blown off.
Esto es jodido.
You are officially nuts.
Esto era jodido, vamos a ir...
Coming this way.
No, no, no.
Run!
Sol, coño. Tu madre, cabrón. Mala suerte, tío.
What kind of firework is this? By the look of it, Paimon's ears are gonna get blown off.
Vale, aquí el truco está en irse por aquí, por el lado.
Officially nuts.
Venga, vamos, vamos, vamos.
They're all coming this way. Quick, run!
Vale, ahora el tema está en... Aquí, correcto. Cuidado. No me puede ver, ¿eh? Vete, anda, vente. Cerdo, que no me puedes ver. Estoy aquí, me va a ver. Bien. Lo he conseguido, tío. Hostia, qué momentito, qué momentito más bonito. Mega festival pirotécnico. Vale, voy a mirar el logro. Vale, enciende un fuego artificial para distraer a los guardias. Vale, para adentro. Lo hemos conseguido, tío, hay que estar orgulloso.
Well, how did it go?
Pues encendimos los fuegos y
Well
huimos.
done. Let's wait for news from Sayu.
Sí, esperemos un tiempo después.
I know exercise helps you grow, but this was a little too much exercise. I feel so dizzy. Everyone is spinning. No, I can't sleep yet. There was something important I was supposed to do first. Oh, right, yeah, I got it. I didn't know how to find a document you guys were talking about, so I just swiped a whole bunch of stuff that looks suspicious. Here you go.
A dormir. Sí, descansa. Qué gran trabajo, Sayu.
My lady, what are we looking at?
This sealed envelope must be an official report that the Tenryou Commission is preparing to present to the Shogun. In addition, we have correspondence with the Fatui. It seems that Gujiae was right. They have been fomenting unrest behind the scenes. This should be ample evidence. Please take them to Gujiae. I trust you will have a plan for the next step. I will also gather some people to try and root out the rest of the Fatui in Inazuma.
Still, mind yourself when you face the Shogun. I still get goosebumps just thinking about her drawing that blade.
Again, we'll just have to trust Gujiae. She is close to the Shogun, so maybe she will have a way.
If Paimon remembers correctly, it should be time for a meeting with Yae Miko soon. Let's pack up our things and get ready to head to the Grand Narukami Shrine.
Sí, vamos para ahí sin miedo. Teníamos 3 días. Informe al trono. Bueno. Y carta secreta de la comisión Tenryou. Vale, vale, vale. Esas dos cositas son importantes. Y buenas recompensas. Nada mal de eso tampoco. Vale, rápido, a ver. Ahí tenemos informe al trono. Inspeccionar, por si alguien lo quiere leer. Ahí lo tiene. Y la carta secreta. El objetivo ahora es volver ahí arriba. Buf. Señores, estamos ya a puntito de ver cositas bonitas, ¿eh? En esta misión os lo puedo garantizar. Cositas bonitas, muy bonitas. Ahí estamos.
Lady Guji, here I am, as promised. Rest assured I came here alone and told no one about this trip.
I knew you would keep your promise after all. I'm sure you've barely been able to take your mind off it these past few days. Have you managed to get any sleep at all?
You're quite mistaken. I would never doubt the leaders of my clan. So, where is your proof?
Aquí las tienes.
Ah, how wonderful. Everyone's keeping their promises today.
Oh, you wouldn't believe what we had to go through to get our hands on this stuff.
Hand them to Sarah. She can examine them for herself.
What is this?
Vale, bueno, lo que os he mostrado antes.
I see this document bears the official seal of the head of the Kujo clan, and it doesn't look like a forgery. I don't understand. Not a single word about the resistance, Sangonomiya, or the situation on the front line. What about the soldiers who gave their lives on the front line, or the hardship endured by the people? Do they deserve no mention? Utter disregard for human life. Why would they want to hide it?
For the sake of the Vision Hunt decree, of course. Don't you think the Shogun might reconsider her policy if all of the things you just mentioned appeared in this report?
So, the Tenryou Commission, they are deliberately deceiving the Shogun?
Yes. Now, who else do you think might be benefiting from the Vision Hunt decree?
También tengo una carta confidencial.
This is a letter from the Tenryou Commission to the Fatui. The head of the Kujo clan kept this a secret from the Shogun, too.
Well, the things you wanted to see but also wished not to see are here before you. Surely, you aren't planning to turn a blind eye to them?
So everything I've ever held on to, it's all... How could they? Ugh! This betrayal is unforgivable! Takayuki, you've got some explaining to do!
Bueno.
Kujo-Sara seems pretty angry, huh? Looks like our Tenryou rebellion is successfully underway.
Si la seguimos podremos encontrarnos con la Shogun.
Yep. Let's catch up with her.
Hold on, traveler. There's something else we need to discuss.
Huh?
Last time you entered the plane of Euthymia, it was in front of the statue of the omnipresent god, correct?
Sí.
You must find a way to recreate the circumstances of that day. If you can get the Raiden Shogun to open her heart to you once more before the statue of the omnipresent god, you will have the opportunity you need.
Lo
Take
intentaré.
this with you as a farewell
Venga,
gift.
What is it?
The Omamori from the Grand Narukami Shrine are very potent indeed. I thought I'd put one aside for
Lo
you.
atesoraré.
If you find yourself at your wit's end, take it out and see what happens. Maybe your prayers will be answered and all your problems will disappear in the blink of an eye. Or if you ever think about me during your journey, take it out, won't you? Who knows? Maybe I'll just end up appearing right in front of you.
Cut it out, Fox Lady. This isn't the time or place to be poking fun at the traveler.
I'm sorry. Well then, time for you to face my hopeless fool of a friend. I'm counting on you.
Buah, señores, venga, va, sin miedo, Sí, señor, sí, señor, sí, señor. Vale, nos ha dado eso, vamos a mirarlo ahora. Omamori del gran santuario Narukami. Vale, un amuleto que te obsequió ya Emiko. Qué bonito, la verdad. Vale, entonces ahora hay que ir allí. Señores, puede que lleguemos a un momento crucial, Crucial, y lo digo muy en serio. Ahí está la Kujo-Sara. Ay, hemos llegado. Es que esta misión es increíble, tío.
You followed me here? You've got guts, I'll give you that. Since you are a witness, I suppose I can shield you from arrest. At least until I have received an explanation from Takayuki. But if it turns out that you have been deceptive in this matter, then not only will you be arrested immediately, but you'll also be charged with one more crime. Do I make myself
Más
clear?
claro imposible.
Good.
Venga, sin miedo, Kujo. Vale. Entra con Kujo a la sede de la comisión. Sí. Ay, señores, que llegamos al momento. Vale. A tope. Vale, sí, ya tengo el equipo. Así se va a quedar. Y la verdad es que tengo ganas. Creo que aquí ocurre lo que tengo en mente. Ahora veremos.
Apologies, ma'am. Orders from the top. No one is allowed to enter.
Bueno, yo ya tenía la Kujo-Sara, creo que la tenía. Bueno, aquí se puede utilizar. Pero bueno, Bueno, aquí el truco está en Dilu. ¡Pum! Joder, qué rotura acabo de hacer ahí. Tú igual, chaval. Ah, pero la cuya usará aquí no saca vida, tío. No hace ni cosquillas. Vale, voy a intentar utilizar esto otra vez. Sí, señor. Ah, el otro pringao está aquí, ¿no? Bueno, aquí hay escudos. Voy a ponerme uno. Pringao, casi me das. Habla con Kuyou. Venga, hablemos. Sin miedo.
Stop! Sarah, have you gone insane? How dare you disregard my orders?
Master,
Go on, ask him. Don't let him intimidate you.
Master Takayuki, I've seen the report to the throne and the letter to the Fatui. Please, tell me why.
So this is how my documents went missing from headquarters. You stole them.
Should I take your words to mean that these documents were not forgeries? They were really penned by your own hand. Please tell me, Master. I need to know. Has the Tenryou Commission really betrayed the shogunate?
Yes, I have dealings with the Fatui, and yes, the report you saw was penned by my hand.
He just came right out and admitted it.
The diplomats from Snezhnaya promised a very generous reward indeed, and all they requested of me in return was to see that the Vision Hunt decrees upheld. For too long, the Kujo clan's position has been coveted by so many. There is no shortage of clans who would tear us down at the first opportunity. So, when the chance arose to gain the backing of another powerful nation and crack down on our enemies at the same time, it appeared to me to be an excellent deal. I simply saw no need to inform you, Sarah.
But you worship the Shogun. How can you betray her after all this time and act like it's nothing?
Betrayal? How can you call this a betrayal? The Fatui may think they are using me, but the reverse is true. What could they possibly hope to achieve? When the lightning strikes in Inazuma, they shall fall to their knees and tremble, paralyzed by fear. And after all, none can contend with the supreme power of the almighty Raiden Shogun and the Muso no Hitotachi.
Confía demasiado en el poder de la Shogun.
Yeah, he doesn't worship the Raiden Shogun herself, but her power as a warrior. Especially the Muso no Hitotachi.
Sí, sí.
In fact,
Está
he seems to be
obsesionadito.
way too into it.
But Master, what about loyalty? Ever since I was adopted by the Kujo clan, you taught me the importance of loyalty from servants to their superiors. But it's clear to me now that you wanted my loyalties to stop with the Kujo clan. So you were scared that I would betray you one day? You hypocrite! Preaching about virtue just to mask your own wretched selfishness!
Selfishness? I am but safeguarding the eternity of the Kujo clan. I'm quite sure the almighty Shogun would be sympathetic to that. As would the former head of our clan.
Hate to say it, but his ego is getting in the way. If he thinks the Kujo clan is a match for the Fatui, Paimon thinks he's in for a nasty surprise.
Veamos lo que Kuyou Sara tiene que
I've
decir.
doubted the Vision Hunt decree in the past. I asked myself, is this truly the correct thing to do? Even though it goes against what I know in my heart to be right. But I chose to obey the Shogun. For as long as she leads the way, who among us is qualified to judge between right and wrong when we have not yet reached the end of the path? But now I realize that the path of eternity is one without end, while this path, it has long since been defiled by your selfish ways. So I'm going to tell the Shogun the truth about all this. If nothing else, my conscience will be clear.
Stubborn and futile. Report to the Shogun if you so wish. The Kujo clan's position is now unshakable, and nothing you can do will change this. The Shogun is at Tenshukaku receiving a Snezhnayan diplomat. A harbinger by the name of Signora.
Signora.
Signora's the one behind all this? Not her again. Way back in Rito, Lady Hiragi said something about the Kanjo Commissioner meeting with an arrogant-sounding woman. We should have known.
A diplomat from Snezhnaya. Well, if she thinks she's leaving Inazuma in one piece, she's got another thing coming.
Sora stormed off! Do you think she's gonna go barge into Tenshukaku right now?
Tenemos una cuenta pendiente con Signora.
You can say that again. Alright then, let's do this!
A tope, vamos. Bueno, encima del cofre, Nada mal. Duelo ante el trono. Persiga a Kuyou Sara hasta Tenshukaku.
Long as we have the Muso no Hito.
Bueno, lo que tú digas, chaval. Aquí dentro no hay nada, ¿no? No y no. Salimos del dominio y vamos a perseguir a Sara porque esto se está poniendo calentito, pero a niveles increíbles. Bueno, el team está ahí, o sea que no está lejos. A ver. Hoy me gustaría algo. Yo creo que sí lo podemos poder hacer, a lo mejor. Lo podemos poder hacer, ¿qué digo, tío? Bueno, están todos muertos, Cuidado, que esto ya es la carta de presentación. Otro caído. Bueno. Están todos caídos. Más. Otro por ahí. Este aún puede decir algo. Ha mencionado a Kuyou Sara, la señorita Kuyou. ¿Qué sucedió? Este no sabe ni dónde vive. Bueno. Señores, ahora sí, Este es el momento que yo quería. Es que esta misión de Arconte es increíble, tío. Esto lo quería hacer hoy. Llevo 52 minutos. A ver si se alarga mucho. Espero que no, la verdad. Habla con Signora. Es que este momento es tremendo. Yo lo quiero ver. Sin duda. Y ahí está la Shogun.
The way people charge in here as they please. So uncivilized. If I didn't know this was Tenshukaku, I might have mistaken it for some kind of street market. Have you learned your lesson now?
Oh no! What has she done to Kujusara?
The right to punish Inazumans for their crimes is mine alone. Not yours, Signora.
Then I apologize, Almighty Shogun.
Signora.
I know. You can't get me out of your mind. But you really don't need to call my name all the time. Don't go thinking I'm surprised to see you here. I'm well aware that you hate me, with the way you follow me around like a dark shadow. Ah, so you came to expose my crimes in front of the Shogun? I'm just a Snezhnayan diplomat. I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about.
She doesn't take us seriously at all.
Por todos los que han perdido sus visiones.
Stop talking about people and things that I care nothing about. They were nobodies to begin with, and their names will be forgotten. But now, at least, they get to be building blocks in the grand revolution to realize eternity. Is that not the greatest honor they could hope for? Almighty Shogun, do correct me if I'm wrong.
Por la gnosis de 20.
That's ancient history. You certainly love to hold a grudge. The Tsaritsa's dream is the noblest and purest thing in all the world. These other mundane details you insist on mentioning, they're just necessary sacrifices. That's all.
Hora de que ponga fin a esto.
Stop me? For what it's worth, I've grown tired of seeing you around as well. But I didn't have you down as someone quite so... Before you go saying something you can't take back, remember that you're Inazuma's most wanted criminal. I suggest you consider your circumstances very carefully. Charging into Tenshukaku uninvited and lecturing me in front of the Shogun wasn't the brightest move. Don't you think it's time you stopped Dick, I'm not sure you realize quite how much distance there is between us, both in status and in strength.
I challenge you to a duel before the throne!
Proceed.
My, you're full of surprises today. So you've learned to make the law of the land work for you too. I'll admit that I never expected to be in a situation where the two of us were on equal footing. You are aware that the loser must die. Are you sure this is what you want?
Traveler!
Then I will deign to share this last dance with you. Till death do us part!
Esto es lo que yo quería, por Dios. Esto es un momento increíble.
A lesson on harbinger power and elegance? As you wish.
Sí, yo estoy muy tranquilo. Tú no lo sé, pero yo mucho.
Into the frozen void.
Madre mía.
You've got some nerve laying your hands on me.
Vale, vamos a acercarnos a algún sitio de estos. Para entrar en calor, esto se puede romper.
Await my emergence and tremble, traveler. You have reason to be afraid.
Vale, lo rompo antes con Zonly, creo. Interesante saber esto. Hay que romperlos todos, porque así ella no tiene tanta fuerza. Bien. Suavecito, suavecito. Joder. Aquí el tema es ese, que se pierde rápidamente.
The Tsaritsa's benevolence has no place for transgressors. The pale flame smolders.
Absorbe la... Ah, vale, ya lo he pillado. Con esto saco más vida a la mierda esta. Hostia, vaya bajada de frames ahí, Vale, ahora sí, ahora llega... Oh, sí, 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 sí. Ahí está. Bruja carmesí de las aguas. El verdadero poder de la Signora.
Lay waste to frozen shell and witness my suffering. In fires of sin and retribution.
Bueno, aquí con Kokomi se supone que lo tendríamos más fácil. Ahí está. Bruja carmesí de las aguas. El verdadero poder de la Signora.
Pale flame, lay waste to frozen shell and witness my suffering. In fires of sin and retribution.
Bueno, aquí con Kokomi se supone que lo tendríamos más fácil. Ahí está. Bruja carmesí de las aguas. El verdadero poder de la Signora.
Pale flame, lay waste to frozen shell and witness my suffering. In fires of sin and retribution.
Bueno, aquí con Kokomi se supone que lo tendríamos más fácil. Ahí está. Y eso es indispensable. Bien. Nada, nada. No puedes conmigo, joder. Vale, voy a intentar romper esto. Aunque esto ya está liquidado. A ver. Se acabó. Venga, ¿ahora qué? Pringadilla.
So strong, but how? I am a Snezhnayan diplomat. You know what happens if you lay a finger on me. I swear, if you strike me, I will make sure... The Fatui will make sure that your precious Inazuma... Stop! I order you! And you! Filthy rats! All of you!
You are the enemy of eternity. But as the victor, I acknowledge your honor. Therefore, I shall allow you to leave Tenshukaku alive.
Esto ha sido tremendísimo, Dios.